time for another art video, and today we're going to be making Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle. So I've always had a lot of love for Howl's Moving Castle, Studio Ghibli in general, but Calcifer is one of those little characters you just can't help but adore. Anyway, we're going to start this video like we always do with aluminum foil as our base. We're going to start making the little branch he's going to hang onto. So I went with like a little bit of a longer, thinner branch, and then I wrapped these like kind of wormy dealies around the end, blended them in because that becomes like the kind of trunk and kind of has that like, you know when you cut wood, that like little texture. So I made the lines on the top of the wood just to show that it's a little bit of an aged tree, a little bit of an aged branch. Made sure that was all flat and smooth before I went in with some texture by drawing lines down like the bark would have. I whitened those in with one of my tools, and then I went in with this tool. Now this step is completely optional, but I scraped the entire outside to make it look more textured, and then I washed it with isopropyl alcohol before I go in, and I cut several segments out to give that kind of burnt effect where we're going to have that black charcoaly kind of color too. Then after we have the branch, it's time to make Calcifer. So again, we make another aluminum base, we cover that in clay. I'm using Super Sculpey liquid here to adhere the branch to the new piece that we just made. And if you're frightened about like bending the branch, you can actually bake it before you do this stage. But then we're going to go ahead and add in Calcifer's little limbs. You can position these however you want. I wanted my guy to be barely clinging to the piece of branch, so it looks really, really silly and cute. I kind of wanted to have him to have like a baby expression, like kind of a baby vibe to him, so he's kind of a little bit more helpless. I just like that idea of Calcifer a little bit more. So after all of the limbs are on and we blend them all in, next you're going to go in and give the flames their texture. So it's nice to make fire look a little bit more like fire by giving it a little bit more of like layers like it's coming up. Now for the eyes, I just used this glue stick because it was like the perfect circle. So I went in, did that, gave him a little panicked little mouth expression, like he's kind of like, oh, what's happening to me? I don't know why I'm being picked up. And then went in with various shades of yellow, orange, and red to give him that flame texture. And I just slowly went around, took about an hour or two just to blend these in carefully as I went around and just blended them in ever so slightly, trying not to go over parts I wanted to color later, like the branch or the eyes, so that way I didn't have to paint them again, right? Then I painted the branch, made the black parts of the charcoal, and then I gave him these big baby eyes, and it just looks so adorable. I really like how this came out. I covered the flame in resin, but I left the branch matte, and I think he just turned out absolutely perfect. And our little art DIY for the week, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Sorry about missing a video last week, but there will be one next week. Enjoy!